Hello, this video is going to be a quick introduction to Excel's quick sort and some other weave options as you are playing with the data. So in this data set, we do have certain number of customers. We do have their entries, their personal information, whether they do own a home, married, their gender, age, and then you can hover on each cell to see what these columns refer to. For example, here close means if it is one, close means to stores with similar merchandise, zero if out of in the middle of nowhere, right? And the seller information is obviously here, children history, and so on and so forth, right? Then we do have the data information, city, state, region, and their amounts that spent on each of these dates. One quick thing to approach a table like this in Excel is to, for example, if you like to do a quick glance through to see, like, how much is the maximum amount of spend in my entire data set, you could go to data and you can click on filter, right? It's going to add these filters to each column, and you could actually click on a specific column that you would like to do some sorting on. I clicked on the amounts spent. You can sort them in ascending order. In this case, you would be looking at the minimum amount spent for the customers, right? The data is already, the entire data set is already sorted. Or if you like to take a look at it from the highest to lowest, you could actually get it like this. It looks like the last row was the total row, so ignore that. But if you look at the second row, you see that this customer is actually the one that made the biggest spend from you. All right, so let's disable that, disable the sorting. Um, and if you just exit from there, you see that this pointing down arrow sign took a different shape like this. It basically is telling you that your data is sorted based on this column, right? You can prefer to unsort it. You can go ahead and add some certain filters to it. You can go ahead and select the data in your data set based on this column information by implementing a customized filter. Like you can go to top 10, for example, right? It is the data in your top 10, right? It is selecting it accordingly. If you go to bottom 10, for example, it is getting you the bottom 10 customers sorted based on the amount spent column. Okay, you could do much more like this with these customized filtering options. Okay, I will exit. I will select all. Let's keep it as an ascending order. Um, okay, you could do some sorting operations based on the date, based on city. Let's click on date. You will see that Excel is smart to understand that these data information is smart to categorize those based on years first, and then on January's, right? Or on, sorry, based on month. If you would like to specify your selection to, for example, January's only, you could go ahead and then hit this. Let's see if it is going to work out. I'll click on January. Well, it didn't pick up anything because there is no January in the data set, right? So these are specifically the data informations, and then Excel is understanding that it is actually January. You could unselect everything, and then you can go into each year and select January, month of January. If you would like to return the expenditures made in January's, right? You could do it that way. Let me quickly do it. Okay, not the entire 2010, just the January of 2010 and January of 2009. You see that all these expenditures are retrieved for the month of January. And across all years, right? You could do it that way. You could sort them again. Well, I'm not going to sort them based on date. But this is nice, a very fast and quick way of analyzing your data set. Here, I will select the entire data again, and I will leave it like this. Another thing that I would like to show you is if you realize, for example, I would like to be able to work on this column, but at the same time, I would like to see which person these expenditures belong to, and I can't see it like that, right? What is one way to make this first column fixed as I keep scrolling to the right? There's an easy way to do it. If you go to View, and then if you go to Freeze First Column, just click on it, you see that although well, actually, it froze the first column that was on my screen. So let's see, unfreeze all panes. Let's go all the way to the left first and then freeze the first column. Now it froze the person, all right? And then I can keep scrolling to the right. It is going to freeze the person column on the right. Now I can do operations here on the very last column and I can still see what was my person, right? Let's unfreeze all panes. Now it goes back to normal. Similarly, you can scroll down to the bottom, right? And as you do it that way, this first row disappears. You can freeze the top row just for that sense, all right? You can just scroll down. You see that your your rows, your labels are frozen. You can see them. These are some nice, useful tools and techniques that you could use with Excel. Sometimes you work on the bottom side of the data, and then you would like to be able to take a look at the upper side of the data, or maybe left side versus right side. You could use the split function here on the view. If you click split, it should be able to giving you an option to split the screen. There you go. I think this is where it is. So now I could see multiple versions of, well, the same version of the data, but in multiple different views of my data. So on the bottom side, now I could go all the way to down, right? And on the upper side, split it split the vision that I'm looking into data. The data is the same again. There's only one data set, but it gave me another perspective into the data. So and I can take a look at the upper side as well, right? Okay, so let's just change it. It should be, I should be able to take a look at the split version on the left and right side as well. Let's see whether it's going to give me that option. Yeah, it does give me that option. So it also, now it split the data set into 4 different views, right? Here, 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 and here, okay? 4 different views. But what if you would like to only work with, up and down, right? Then you just take this all the way here. Your problem is solved. Now you have only 2 splits, okay? Let's cancel the split and then enable it one more time. Again, I do have 4 screens now. I would like to be able to work on the left side and the right side. I think I will just need to take this down. Yeah, and I'll take this up then, just to disable it. Okay, now I do have only the left side and the right side. Okay, that's good. When do you need this? Well, if you don't have multiple monitors and if your data set is too large, maybe you have too many number of columns and number of rows, then this comes in very handy, right? Thank you so much. This would be the end of chapter 2, and you would be on the next video. You would be able to see what's coming up on coming up next on chapter 3. Thank you for watching.